guys, welcome to week 27 of the Confidence Revolution. Today I want to talk about something extremely uncomfortable, and I want to dance with racism a little bit. So I watched the 30 for 30 ESPN OJ documentary. Not all of it, it was 8 hours, but I watched a lot of it, and it was fascinating. It wasn't just about OJ. It was about the umbrella of the dynamics that were going on in the country at that time. One of the jurors said, now you know it was her decision to count OJ not guilty, whether he was guilty or not. Well, she said that it was payback for Rodney King. And then she said, now you know how it feels. And so I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about that statement, now you know how it feels. And then I want to talk about something else. Actually, let me reverse that order. So after I watched the OJ documentary, we had a young man over, one of our friends, and he is just delightful. He's so kind, so intelligent, so well spoken. He's just a great guy, and he's black. And so I go to a black church, have black friends, all these things, but I've never actually asked somebody, how does racism feel like to you? I've experienced racism a handful of times in my life. My parents more so, their parents more so, right? Hopefully Alexandra will not live in a world where racism exists, once she's conscious of what's going on. And so I think we're on the right path, but I in no way think that we are racism free. I would like it to be racism free, but I think we've got some work to do. So anyway, this young man came over for dinner, and it was weird. But I asked him, how does racism feel like? What is it? Do you experience it? What is it? How does it sit with you? What is an experience you've had? And he was candid with me, and he gave me examples, and he really kind of opened the door or pulled back the curtain and really let me in onto something that was so tender, maybe not tender for him, but a tender topic between two people. And I realized that I'm 33, and I've really understood racism probably since I was about 20, in college. And it took me 13 years to get the courage to ask somebody about it. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is don't theorize about the way it is. Don't make up these notions that you must know the way it is. Ask somebody that's going through something. What does that feel like? Things are so uncomfortable these days. There are so many hot button issues. Not hot button, rather tender and comfortable. What does cancer feel like? What does racism feel like? What does being, prejudice, having prejudices against you feel like? It's going to be weird and uncomfortable. They want to tell you, because once they tell you, the gap closes. The more that we think that we know, we make up these stories, and the more that we don't ask, the further the divide will be. Has anybody ever asked you, what does that feel like? What did that breakup feel like? Was it terrible? Or what did your parents getting a divorce feel like? When somebody asks you something so personal, you almost become endeared to them. It's like, yes, let me tell you. Let me share with you some hard things that I've gone through. And it's beautiful when someone cares. And just the same way that you feel loved and seen, when somebody asks you that, another person feels the same. So yes, it's going to be weird. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. But have the confidence to push. Have the confidence to really kind of walk in those uncharted waters and just ask a question. The next thing I want to talk about really quickly is The statement, now you know how it feels. If there is a statement that we can erase from our lexicon and from our spirits, it's now you know how it feels. The more that we keep revenge in cycle, the more it's in cycle. At some point, somebody out there needs to absorb it and stop it. Stop the cycle. If somebody cuts me off in traffic and then I cut them off, and then they cut me off, and then I cut them off, and soon we're like fist fighting in an alley, right? Or let's say it's a boyfriend and girlfriend. One cheats on one. Fine, I'm going to go cheat on you. Fine, I'm going to go cheat on you. And nothing ever gets fixed. Nothing ever gets better. Nothing ever feels better. It feels worse. So every time you have, now I'm going to do this so that they know how it feels, that's hate. That is hate in your heart. And I'm sorry that they did something, that someone did something to hurt you. But you have the choice to let the hurt stop here. You have the choice to be the bigger person, to absorb the pain, take it out of the cycle, and move on with your life. You don't have to stay with that person. You don't have to see that person. You don't have to talk to that person. But your heart will be a lot calmer when you finish the cycle, when you cut it off, when you say, I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to walk away from this. No need for revenge. Revenge is futile, and you're better than that. You're smarter than that. Okay, I know it's a big hot button topic. I want to have like hours long conversation about this, but that's just a little something to get the convo started in your world, and I'll see you guys next week.